During a press conference in Harlem Wednesday night, Eric Garner's mother, Gwen Carr, responded to the grand jury's decision not to indict the officer responsible for her son's death.
I am truly disappointed in the grand jury's decision this evening. I don't know what video they were looking at. Evidently, it wasn't the same one that the rest of the world was looking at. You know, how could we put our trust in the justice system when they fail us like this?
Before Garner's family spoke, Officer Daniel Pantaleo issued an apology. His statement read in part, quote, "It's never my intention to harm anyone, and I feel very bad about the death of Mr. Garner. My family and I include him and his family in our prayers, and I hope that they will accept my personal condolences for their loss." Garner's widow, Esau Garner, was asked by a reporter if she accepted Officer Pantaleo's apology. This was her response.
Apology. No, I could care less about his condolences. No, I could care less. He's still working. He's still getting a paycheck. He's still feeding his kids. And my husband is 6 feet under, and I'm looking for a way to feed my kids now.
Eric Garner's family says it plans to sue the city for wrongful death, pre-death pain and suffering, and civil rights violations. For more, we turn to Brandon Davidson, the nephew of Eric Garner. Brandon, welcome to Democracy Now! Again, our condolences on the death of your uncle. Your response to the grand jury clearing the officer in the chokehold death of your uncle?
It's just tragic how they can't see the video clearly. Like, me and my family, we've seen what happened. I watched my uncle die, like, right in front of my eyes. I've never seen any of my other family members die. Like, my father, his brother died when I was 6. Never seen it. My uncle, Joseph Flagg, died last year. Didn't see him die. It's tragic for me to see my last uncle die in front of my eyes, in front of my face, live on TV. And it hurts me even more that my family, my grandmother, Gwen Carr, you seen last night on National NN.
At the National Action Network.
Yeah. She's going through it hard. And I agree with my aunt when she says, we can't accept your apology. You say you have no intentions on harming anyone. You've waited for backup to harm my uncle. He told y'all to leave him alone, which means y'all been bothering him previous times. That's not the only time y'all bothered him. And while the guy who was recording the video saying he just broke up a fight, what does that tell you? He's not harmful. My uncle's not harmful. He just broke up a fight. What does...
Meaning that your uncle had just been a mediator in a fight. He'd broken it up. And he stepped back at the beauty, right? He was standing by that beauty salon in Staten Island on the sidewalk.
Minding his business. Where's the cigarettes that y'all, well, the police claimed that he was selling? Where's that evidence? But we have evidence that you put my uncle in a chokehold until he died.
Can you tell us a little about your uncle?
There's a lot of stories of my uncle, but like, I'd see him through family reunions. He'd see me in a train station out of nowhere, like, just saying, "Hey, Brandon, what's up? How's everything? How's your mom? I ain't seen her in a long time. I hope everything's well with her." And I'm telling him, you know, we are keeping our heads strong since my father passed away, and he's been mourning since my father's passed, and he was even mourning more. Like,
was he your father's brother?
Yes. Like, the last time I've seen Eric before that incident was my other uncle, Joseph Flagg, who died last year in Jersey, being gunned down by the perpetrator. And, you know, he wasn't harmful at all. You know, he was, in my eyes, from my experience, he's a good man. I mean, him and my aunt, you know, they'll have their ups and downs, but at the end of the day, he's in her life. He's in his children's life. Most of all, he's in his grandchildren's life, my cousin's daughters. He's in their life.
And what did you think of you and your family, of all the protesters who turned out last night against this decision?
Well, it was peaceful. That was a good thing, but it was a great thing to see people come together, you know, to rally against the system. But that shouldn't just happen, you know, during the time of anyone's death. You know, people should come together, period, instead of just one incident.
What do you think needs to change?
The system, period. Justice. Like, we need justice, period. Because if there's injustice, then what do we have?
Where were you yesterday when the decision came down, and did it surprise you?
I mean, it didn't surprise me. I was hurt, but it didn't surprise me. I was home. It was my day off from work, and that's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for the news to tell me the cop would not be indicted. It didn't surprise me at all. It just hurt me. It just stung me. You know, I mourned. And, you know, the best thing I did was to keep strong, because I called my cousin, his daughter, Erica. I called her, make sure she was all right. I called my grandmother before she went to the NAN, National American Network. I called my aunt. She was at work, she was at work, I'm sorry. I just basically called everyone in the family to see if they was all right.
Well, we want to thank you very much, Brandon Davidson, for making the trip here today. Brandon Davidson is the nephew of Eric Garner. It pains me to play in front of you, although I know you've seen it, so I don't know how many hundreds of times, if you watch TV, that video of your uncle saying, "I can't breathe," 11 times. This is Democracy Now! When we come back, Vince Warren will join us. He's the head of the Center for Constitutional Rights. We'll also be joined by a retired police detective talking about the culture of police, those who do right and those who don't. Stay with us.